Nothing compares to growing up on a farm. In all honesty, it's hard to beat the memories of your upbringing. The life on a farm teaches you many valuable things, be it getting to work alongside your family, watching the sunrises and the sunsets, taking care of animals, appreciating nature and many more. You may be surprised to know that many of Hollywood's famous celebrities have grown up on farms and ranches. We have made a list of these acclaimed farm kids who made it big in Hollywood with their rural background. Garrett Hedlund. Pan star Garrett Hedlund's rakish looks definitely make him the quintessential leading man on the silver screen. Yet, for this Tron legacy star, being an actor was not an option growing up. Hedlund grew up on a 400-acre cattle ranch 25 miles outside of Roseau, Minnesota. "I had to jump on the tractor and do my chores," says the Midwestern-born actor on his childhood. Furthermore, Garrett adds living with his father on their farm, he had no time for frivolities like movies as it was seen as a waste of time. Krysten Ritter. Marvel's Jessica Jones, played by Krysten Ritter, as we know, is a big Hollywood star. Nonetheless, her journey to stardom had very humble beginnings. According to a report by Times Leader, Ritter was raised on a 100-acre cattle farm outside Shikshani in Pennsylvania. In a candid interview with Playboy in 2012, Ritter talked about life on the farm, explaining, "My stepfather called horses hay burners. They do nothing. You can't milk them and you can't eat them, so we didn't have them. But I had a calf I raised named Jake. He was so small that when I got him, I could pick him up. We took naps together and snuggled. And then he got big, very big. When I would go hang out with him, I'd pull him over to the side of the fence, hold on to the scruff of his neck and get on him. And he would start walking. People would drive by and take pictures, like, 'Who is this girl riding a cow?'" Luke Bryan. What is country music if it doesn't mention Luke Bryan and his epic dance moves? With smashing hits like Play It Again or Crash My Party, Bryan became a name synonymous with super-hit country music. However, the American Idol judge's rise to stardom was from his humble rural roots. Bryan is from a small town in Leesburg, Georgia. He grew up on a peanut farm and even helped his father with his peanut and fertilizer business. Speaking about his childhood, Luke Bryan says, "We were always outdoors, hunting and fishing, and listened to whatever was on country radio." Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron is one of the most recognizable and talented people in Hollywood. The actress, supermodel, and film producer has had several box office hits under her name. Aside from that, did you have any idea that this South African beauty spent her childhood on a farm? Charlize Theron was born in Benoni, South Africa. Her parents, Charles and Greta, owned a construction company, and the family lived on a farm. Growing up, Theron loved feeding livestock and taking care of the animals. Eva Longoria. Eva Longoria, the actress, the producer, and the director, has done it all. However, you'll be surprised to know that this Desperate Housewives bombshell is actually a country gal. Longoria grew up on a ranch near Corpus Christi. As a child, she loved climbing fruit trees. In her interview with WSJ, Eva said the best childhood skill she learned was, "I can start a fire in the middle of nowhere with a rock and kindling." Melissa McCarthy. The actress and comedian Melissa McCarthy today is among the highest paid and most buzzed about celebrity in Hollywood. Her Sookie St. James as a typical crazy chef on Gilmore Girls won our hearts instantly. But were you aware that Melissa McCarthy does have an agricultural connection since childhood? McCarthy was raised on her family's corn and soybean farm. In fact, growing up in rural Illinois allowed McCarthy to nurture all kinds of talents, which eventually led her to become one of the funniest comedians of this generation. In one of her interviews, McCarthy reminisces, "I was kind of a handful, I think pretty energetic. I would run around the farm, climb up into things I wasn't supposed to, and get up into rafters in the barn. I went up into the silo once when I was really tiny, and the farmer had to come and get me down. It was an amazing way to grow up." Carrie Underwood. From her journey as a small-town girl to American Idol winner, Carrie Underwood has always inspired the young generation of women to dream big and follow their passions. The Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, human and animal rights activist could easily be called America's sweetheart. But the Love Wins singer is true to her country roots. Carrie on her website says, "Growing up in the country, I enjoyed things like playing on dirt roads, climbing trees, catching little woodland creatures and, of course, singing." Miranda Kerr. Supermodel Miranda Kerr and the founder of skincare range Cora Organics had a country childhood. She grew up at her grandmother's home in Gunnetta, NSW. Being a tomboy, this down-to-earth Aussie beauty loved riding horses and playing outdoors. Miley Cyrus. Global pop icon Miley Cyrus grew up on the family farm near Nashville, Tennessee. Although known as Hollywood's most controversial star, Cyrus had a fairly normal childhood. In her interview with W, the pop's wildest child on her growing up says, "We never were inside, and we never wore shoes. I think it's why I like wearing no clothes so much, and I'm always naked." Taylor Swift. Musical genius Taylor Swift spent her early years living on an actual Christmas tree farm nearby the town of Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. In a Vogue article, they mention Taylor's upbringing as unconventional. In her interview with Rolling Stone, Swift said, "I had the most magical childhood, running free and going anywhere I wanted to in my head." Swift further added, "It cemented in me this unnatural level of excitement about fall and then the holiday season. My friends are so sick of me talking about autumn coming. They're like, 'What are you, an elf?'